Welcome back! This video is part of a mini-series where I'm using my Yashica Mat 124 camera to photograph all of these film. Today we are picking CineStill 800T. CineStill 800T, the T stands for tungsten, is typically used for low light situations. It's a motion picture film stock, and what's intriguing about this film is that it gives unique halation effects. So with that in mind, I'm trying this film during a holiday nighttime light event. If a halation effect is what this film stock is known for, then I should be able to see something from this place. There are a lot of lights to photograph. The first image I took immediately at the entrance. There was a guy playing the keyboard underneath the tree, and I like how the tree was lit. Also, I like the smaller orange tree in the background. There's a lot of people walking around, so I had to be very picky when to take the photo. The metering on my phone said I should use a 0.4 shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. However, I've never photographed at that low of a shutter speed, and to be honest, I was a little confused because I didn't have a 0.4 on the Yashica, so I picked a 1 second shutter instead. And for fun, here is a photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. So I can see there are some nice halations on the lights. The guy on the keyboard moved out of the frame, which is a bummer. I don't think the 1 second shutter versus 0.4 made that much of a difference, but I do think as far as the image goes, I kind of like the iPhone edited version better. And that's one thing I'm going to keep asking myself as I do this film experiment. Do I like the iPhone or do I like the film? The next image was very dark with a few lights. I am using a tripod and I wasn't sure if this would turn out. The metering on my phone said I should use a 2 second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. However, the Yashica only goes to 1 second or else it's bulb mode. And I didn't want to use bulb mode, so again I chose to do 1 second shutter. And for fun, here is the photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. I like it. I'm not sure what the right side light is though. That almost looked like a light leak maybe, but I do like how the purple turned out in this photo. I can say with this photo, I like the CineStill better than the iPhone image. This next spot looked pretty cool with a lighted tunnel. There were a lot of people just standing around. The metering on my phone said I should use a 1/30th of a second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. And that is what I used for this photo. And for fun, here is the photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. The image came out nice, but I was expecting more halation like the other photos. I like how the tunnel turned out and the trees on the right. However, I have to say that I like the composition better with the iPhone image. This next spot was a bit difficult because the lights changed so much. They were synced to music, so I waited for a couple songs to try to understand the pattern. Also, people kept standing in front of me. But when metering on my phone, the settings said I should use a 1/13th of a second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. I used a 1/15th. And for fun, here's the photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here's the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. I can say with this one I'm really disappointed. I like the iPhone composition so much more, and even the lights. When I took this photo, it was a different pattern, and the smoke machine wasn't blowing at the same time. All of it failed. Also, what I'm starting to notice is that I'm doing better compositions with my phone than the Yashica, and I'm not sure why that is. Is it because I can see the screen and make it perfect before taking the photo? And to be honest, I'm not even trying that hard with the iPhone. I'm taking quick photos just to get a baseline. Also, I think what's adding to it is the editing. I just like the way it turns out more than the film look. But I did take another one at this spot, and this photo is a lot better. This next spot was an easy composition. Just a nice walkway with trees lit up following the path. And it was easy to get someone in the photo walking the path. The metering on my phone said I should use a 1/5 of a second shutter speed with a 3.5 aperture at 800 ISO. I used a 1/4 of a second. And for fun, here's the photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same photo, but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. And what happened here? The gold lights turned red on the sides. Does halation naturally run red in film? I didn't notice any of the gold lights turning red in the previous photos. I can't decide if that would be frustrating or not. But I do like the green halation in between the trees. I don't like my composition though, it feels tilted. I like the phone version better for the composition. This next setup I am really excited to see the results of. I like the colors and I was interested how the film halation would handle this scene. The metering on my phone said I should use a 1/6 of a second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. I used a 1/8 of a second. And for fun, here is the photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same photo, but edited in the style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. I like this photo a lot. It didn't disappoint like some of the previous ones. I like the halation. I like that I was able to get some people walking in the photo, and I think the brightness of the lights looked better than the iPhone image. So finally, a stronger win with this image using film over the iPhone. This next spot was purely for the lights and to see how the film would do. The composition isn't good at all. The idea was to try to get someone walking in between the lights, but I remember this being a frustrating spot. The metering on my phone said I should use a 1/30th of a second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. I used those settings. And for fun, here's a photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. And here we go again. I didn't think this would happen where the white lights turned red, but it's not all the white lights because the lights in the background are still white. So I'm not sure what causes some of it to turn red. If anyone knows why, please leave a comment. Also, it seems it's only doing it with white and gold lights. I don't notice color changes on the lights when it's purple or blue. This next spot was also difficult. Kids were constantly moving things around. The metering on my phone said I should use a 1/15th of a second shutter speed. And for fun, here's a photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. There's nothing that exciting with this image. I like the iPhone rendition better, but it's not the same composition, so I think this one is a throwaway. This next spot is at the end of the event, where they had a large open area that was blowing fake snow because, well, this is Florida. And the metering on my phone said I should use a 1/20th of a second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. I used a 1/15th second shutter. And for fun, here is the photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. I don't remember moving, but apparently I did because the composition changed. I like how this one came out. I don't know if the red color at the bottom left and right are from a light leak or not, but I like it. And I can see the gold lights having a red halation on some of them, so there must be something about that. However, I have to give it up to the iPhone for the winner, because I was able to get a perfect moment with these two, and a photo like this just wins every time no matter what device you use to photograph it on, film or digital. If you agree that this was a cool moment to photograph, click the like button on the video. With this one I just walked to the other side to take another photo. The metering on my phone said I should use a 1/25th of a second shutter speed with a f3.5 at 800 ISO. I use a 1/15th second shutter speed. And for fun, here is a photo of the composition using my iPhone to compare. And here is the same iPhone photo but edited in a style of how I thought the film would turn out. And this is the actual film result. I really like how this one turned out because of the red light leaks. And this is why I personally like film for this type of imperfection. I think I'm getting a little bored with perfect photos all the time, so when I get something like this back, I like it. And I can even say I like the film results much more than the iPhone result. And that's a good one to end on. So here are all the CineStill 800T photos I took tonight. Usually there are 12 photos, but for some reason the 12th photo didn't develop. My conclusion is that this is a fun film to play with at night. I would definitely try this film again. The time I didn't like this film was largely because of my own composition, not necessarily the film's fault. I think it's interesting to note the red halation on white and gold lights, and I would like to try this film again with different subjects other than Christmas lights. Here are some fun facts that I wanted to keep a record of so I could review it in the future if I wanted to compare. Price of CineStill 800T in 2024 was $16.99. Development cost was $4.99. Scan cost was $6.99. Print cost was $3. The event cost for the tickets was $48.95. The time spent taking photos at this event was 2 hours and 25 minutes. However, I also took about 10 hours to edit this video. The total to make this video was $80.92 and 12 hours and 25 minutes. Alright, that was fun. And here are 4 of my favorite film photos from this round. Which one do you like most? Is it photo number 1, the big tree with the smaller tree glowing in the background? Or photo number 2, the light sticks with the fog machine and people? Or photo number 3, the aqua tree with the couple walking past? Or photo number 4, the light leaks with the Florida snow? Vote by leaving a comment below. Thanks for watching.